folks. Hopefully we're live here. Are we live? I'm showing no. Oh, now we have 6. Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. Still playing around my new toy here. Okay. I want to talk a bit about the precious metal trade and what we've been seeing lately. Maybe I'll pull up a correlation of the US dollar and the miners of late. Is that while, the miners are reversed on the day, I mentioned over the weekend that what we're seeing kind of bottoming action, historical, really typical bottoming action on NUGT, on GDXJ, and sure enough, they popped this morning. Yes, they faded it. Yes, we're probably going to close down here. Maybe we'll pull back. But I think what's setting up is important, and that is this. When you take a look at the 10-year Treasury yield, this is the third consecutive day leaning into the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. There have been times where it's gone up higher. Could be a fourth day, could be a fifth day, but we have a lot of resistance above. And when you take a look at the TLT, while down on the session, is off the lows, and we're holding support. Down volume is very, very light. Now, furthering the case here, the tips are holding support, which is good. Add to that, when you take a look at, choose your mining ETF, whether it be the GDXJ, which is now flat, the stochastics are really at historical lows, and the same holds true for NUGT, where we're right at where we historically find a bottom, and then we traditionally rally. There are times where it's just going to rally and then roll right back over and take out and go to new lower lows. I'm not going to say that we've hit a bottom here ultimately. What I'm saying is we're poised for a rally. So we're going to look to, as we did earlier today, is on another rally on the mining stocks, sell covered calls yet again. And this time we'll probably keep that trade on, unless, of course, we begin to break out higher. I thought we might rally back by the end of the day. In fact, we did rally back somewhat, but then we just faded into this final hour of trade. Hey, Norris, it's been a while. How you doing, pal? When am I going to get my $65 on You mean XOM, right? XOM. Pretty soon, pal. Pretty soon. Nice base. Yeah, you're probably going to get a filling of the gap here. But ultimately, this is just a daily chart. Hey, Gay, Franklin, hello. Looking at a weekly chart, this is beautiful. Let's just bring up the save chart here. XOM. Okay, so here's what I think is going to happen between now and the next couple of weeks is that let's do this. We're probably going to pull back and do a retest of either the lateral or the horizontal, I should say vertical, and horizontal lower bands of support. From those buy points, we would do a retest of those buy points. I think that we could add or open a position. I mean, the energy space is in fuego. I was looking at Zero Hedge earlier. All hell is breaking loose. You have big shortages over in Europe. China's having blackouts now. Amazing. So, energy is the place to be. So I think XOM is going to do just fine. The exploration stocks, just fine. the heck did I do with that chart? ETRN doing really good today. We're higher. Doing really good. OPTT is up today too. Nearly 4.5%. I think this is going to take off soon. So it's looking good. They're looking good. Jim Craner likes his top's big. Hey, Larry. Devin, he thinks CEO. He thinks he hung the moon. I never heard that one before. BVM. All right. Oh, it looks like he's right. Outstanding breakout. Let's go to the weekly chart. Yeah, it's a pretty chart. Nice consolidation. Cleared resistance. This can go up to 41.25 per share. Next resistance level is going to be at 35, but it could melt its way up to that level easily. So, yeah, Devin's looking good. Not much of a yield, but still looking good. So how will Bitcoin be mined? You got me. You got me. I think that they're going to have to rely upon countries that have hydroelectric power. So I'm not. I know China was one. Obviously, that's been banned now. I'm not exactly sure, what their fallback position is for a hydroelectric provider for mining Bitcoin. I don't know if solar's probably not, unless you're in the desert, is probably not yet ready yet for prime time. Iceland, yeah, I think they're already in Iceland doing that. All right, let's take a look at the. All right, so gold. I think what we're doing here is consolidating. And as I mentioned earlier, the dollar's a bit overbought, faded on the day. Yields skyrocketing higher. I think we're going to get a pullback on those names in a couple of days, if not tomorrow. And we're going to see a pop up higher on precious metals. So I'm liking the setup here. Here's the dollar. Actually looking pretty good until the close. It was sloppy earlier. On the 15, we had broken down below support. It was struggling here, but now it's rallying back some. So we'll see how we close the dollar out. Looking at equities, the Russell, powerful day, but coming off of its highs. It was up over 2%, now up about at 1.5%. It's a scary. We have a short position. This is truly a scary rip here, but we've seen so many of these over the past 8 months or so that I've just become immune to it. That I just know how this generally ends, and you get a sell-off within the next couple of days. It's just the short covering rally. And the only reason why I'm hanging my hat on that thesis of being a short covering rally, and maybe this is going to change by the close, but earlier when I looked, I'm not going to refresh it until I show you. Volume was trending in lower. Maybe that'll change by the close. But we still have some ground to make up here to get from where we're at current up to the moving average. You see a 2% move, a 1.5% move. You want to see some volume behind it. Indicators still look strong. But I don't want to go negative projecting that simply because yields are moving up higher, that the small caps are going to move up higher. Why? Well, I mean, the reason why the yields are moving up higher is not because of economic growth. It's because the Federal Reserve threatened the market. As simple as that. So I'm not sure what value small caps are going to get out of higher yields. You get higher yields, higher inflation, You pass along the cost to the consumer, you get less volume. So I don't understand. So that's just me. What do I know? Just taking a look quickly at foreign currencies. The yen consolidating. I don't want to be on a 15-minute chart for this. It's going in hourly. Yeah, it's consolidating. I think we're going to get a rally in foreign currencies. You already had a rally, and it's already faded. The NASDAQ, not a good session. Microsoft in particular is really taking it on the chin today. It's off the lows. I mean, I'm tempted to go reopening a bear spread on Microsoft. I think that if we get a pullback on yields, that'll lift Microsoft for a couple of days. But once yields begin to consolidate and move back up again, Microsoft, the other Q names, they're going to pull back in. S&P 500, not closing wonderfully here. Let's go to a 5-minute chart. We only have a couple of minutes left. I mean, the last 4-hour bar is pretty bearish. Let's go back to the NASDAQ quickly. They're trying to rally it into the close here. Small caps holding. Now here's the setup on NUGT. I think we're putting in a higher low. You know, as I always like to say, you always before when you have a stock that's been in a downtrend, you're looking for a bottom. Rule number one: it's got to stop going down before you'd even think about purchasing it. So I think we're beginning to see that. We don't have a new weekly low. We had a rally early in the day. Yes, that rally was faded, but given the oversold condition, I'm not putting that much emphasis on the fade on the day because we've seen this before. We saw it on Friday. It rallied, it faded. We saw it again today, rallied and faded. So it's oversold. I think we could still get a pop here. Love to see a rally to the close. I don't think we're going to get it with a minute 44 to go. Dollar 15-minute time frame, back under pressure a little bit here, back down below support. VIX lifting, yields lifting, unfortunately. The Russell is now down below, being up 1.5%, now down at 1.45% and dropping off of its highs, but still a solid day. The NASDAQ is the story sector. As those yields continue to rise, it's going to be a big, big problem for the NASDAQ. I think today was the first day we hit 1.5% on the 10-year in 6 months or so. Let's go to a 5-minute chart. So you have some dip buyers out there. Quiet, very, very quiet. 23 seconds. Not much happening on the NASDAQ into the close. Nugget selling off a bit. LABU is interesting. I'm thinking about selling some 60 puts expiring this week, collecting some premium. Gold, really tight formation here. And ding, 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 ding. I have my volume off. And that is it, folks. I will catch you on Market Wrap. I'll see you there.